Oh yeah, oh yeah. There's no pressure. I'll be waiting, and I'm sure there's energy, so I can give you all of me. All of me. It's been 11 days and 11 nights, and I've been thinking about you constantly and all the time. Baby, I even go down on my knees just to get to where you are and make you mine. I don't wanna rush it. Yeah. I just want you to trust it. We'll be fine. Give it time. There's no pressure. I'll be waiting, and I'm sure there's energy, so I can give you all of me. All of me. It's been a long day, babe, I go a long way. Don't ever worry if you got me, 'cause you got me. All of the wrongs you've had, I wanna make it right. Just one chance, I won't fight it. If it doesn't fit, it's alright. It ain't my time. There's no pressure. I'll be waiting, and I'm sure there's energy, so I can give you all of me.
Grand Rising, and welcome to Blended Healing, the shadow. I did a series on healing your shadow a while back, I believe last year sometime. And I broke it down into different stages. I had guest speakers, I had audience participation in that thing. And we did a whole celebration when we got to the end of it. And it was not an easy thing to do. Embracing your shadow is something that you're going to be doing for the rest of your life. It is a part of healing. How can you assist and work with other people if you're not willing to heal yourself? We hear about healing over and over and over and over again, that it's coming out of our ears, and we don't want to hear that shit. But it's a part of life, baby. It's a part of life. It's something that we endeavor to do, is to heal on a daily basis. With shadow healing, it allows us to go deep into the crevices of our mind, our soul, to pull up things that trigger us, And today, please allow me to talk about embracing the shadow and what that would mean to you. I have a question. Do you struggle with a specific area in your life, such as physical or mental health, or in your relationships or your career or your finances? Blended, what does this have to do with shadow healing? You may be the victim of your shadow. What is your shadow, as you ask? What has this got to do with me, Blended? The shadow, beloveds, is all those negative aspects of yourself that hold you back from living the life that you desire. This could take the form of negative thinking or suppressed emotions or limiting beliefs. addiction, physical symptoms, or relationship challenges. The reason why we struggle with these issues is that we try to fix them at the surface level and only deal with the symptoms and never get to the root cause. The roots usually go very deep and often start in childhood through traumatic events that we may or may not recall. The mind is a very intricate thing. It has the ability to shut off trauma. Your body will block it out. Your mind will block it out so you can move ahead in the living. However, it's still there. When we talk about strength, there's nothing stronger and more beautiful than going in and deep diving into your shadow. Beloved, it is important to realize that these difficult experiences and situations do not have to be major. Does not have to be major, such as a physical or, I even tell you, a sexual abuse. They could also be emotional neglect by your parents or whoever raised you, or something that happened to you in school or even social media. A dysfunctional household, or people spewing hurtful words that someone has directed at you. Nobody, and I mean nobody, is immune to the effects of these minor experiences, which are now not so minor. When you start to see they manifest in your life, the sad thing is that few people realize that they are victims of their own shadow. And fewer know what to do about it. This is because that the knowledge of the shadow is not something that is taught in the education system. It is not taught. Some of the things that you are taught in school is not really applied to real life issues. The question then arises, how does one recognize that they are the victim of their own shadow? And what does one do about that? The way to recognize that you are a victim of the shadow is that you have to understand that it is a reoccurring pattern of challenges that go through, in and out, and weave through your life, that pops up every single time you are triggered. You may always be in debt and can never get financially ahead. You may always have relationship challenges. You may even have had health issues your entire life. You may have difficulty in keeping a job or even try to advance in your career. Ashe, ashe. Let's do some house cleaning before we continue. Of the Copyright Act of 1976, allowances made for fair use, for purpose such as criticism, comment, news reporting, teaching, scholarship, and research. Fair use is a use permitted by copyright statutes that might otherwise be infringing. nonprofit, educational or personal use tips, and the balance of the favor of fair use.
I'm about to fuck your whole day up. So if you're not ready for the truth, baby, you need to scroll on by, bitch. It is day 192 of walking outside every day despite the weather for 20 minutes, and yeah, I'm not ready. I want you to try this exercise. I want you to turn off the music. I want you to turn off the TV. I want you to sit in front of a mirror, and I want you to look into your own eyes for 5 minutes. But you're gonna notice that 5 minutes is a long ass time to be looking at yourself. What do you see? Is this the person that you thought you would see staring at you in the mirror when you were a teenager? Perhaps a young kid? Are you doing the things that you loved to do and always wanted to do? Who are you looking at? Is it you? Are you looking at a version of you that other people have built? A version of you that has tried so hard to fit into the boxes and the conditioning of the people around you that isn't you anymore. What do you feel? What do you see? Are you finding it hard to look at yourself for 5 minutes? After 30 seconds, are you checking the clock? What are you looking for? Why don't you want to keep looking at yourself for 5 minutes? Do you feel happy? Are you proud of what you're looking at? See a lifetime of neglect? Do you see love, compassion, self-trust? Do you see someone who has been true to themselves? If you can't be truthful and intimate with yourself for 5 minutes, how could you possibly be intimate with someone else? How could you possibly think that you can provide intimacy to anyone else? Until we learn how to sit in our own intimacy, we can't give it to others. We're shells, harboring others' insecurities and pain because we still have not broken through our own. You're gonna cry, but instead of looking at yourself and cringing, hold it with compassion and love. And that is the beauty of intimacy. That is the beauty of vulnerability. And we owe it to ourselves first. We owe it to ourselves first to engage in it within us before we expect others to be able to hold our vulnerabilities and our intimacy. You will cherish the gift that you have within you much more when you accept it. Hold it. Hold it in love and self-compassion and not look and cringe. I love you guys. Feel on, fuckers.
You asked me, what is shadow work? What is shadow work? Shadow work is the process of going deep within and starting to move things in your inner world to uncover whatever you have suppressed, emotions, and the source of any type of negative thoughts and limiting beliefs, and trying to integrate those feelings into your higher consciousness or your higher self, to bring it from the dark and bring it up into the light. It's about deep contemplation and retrospection to uncover your dark side and use it to fuel your personal evolution. It's not a path for the faint of heart. You're going to need all the strength that you can muster. And it requires courage to face your inner demons. But if you want to live a life of joy, of fulfillment, and serenity, then it is necessary. It is necessary to do this process. How does one engage in shadow work? How does one do that? Beloved, there is no one path that is right for everybody. It's not a one size fit all, but there are some general principles that can guide you in this lifetime journey. Ashe, Ashe.
If you're a baby witch or just new to the spiritual shit, shadow work is not optional. I know all the mistresses of Loki and Lucifer are going to tell y'all otherwise, but that's because they operate out of privilege and not out of power. Shadow work is the process of growing awareness of self and building understanding behind that. The actions that we take thereafter is the actual healing. Shadow work is not just about dissecting the perceivable bad. Sometimes it's learning why we have shame behind things that are actually good. My triggers, my toxic ideologies, my desires, my goals, my shame, my guilt, my resentment, my intrigue. What the fuck am I even angry about? I have to dissect everything. How is that influencing me internally, and how is that making me influence my external? And am I okay with that shit? And if not, how would I give that advice if I were giving it to a fucking friend? It's only easier to give your friends advice because you're holding them accountable for their problem. When you're dealing with your own problem, you get to treat it like a secret. So that means you get to fuck off with it because you're the only person that knows you have a problem in the first place. So sometimes stepping back and pretending that it's somebody else's problem allows us to bypass that I don't know how to fix that mode in our brain. Oh, we got a solution. We just struggle to implement. And those are two separate things. See part 2.
May I offer some things to help you get started with this shadow work? Ashe? Ashe. Feel all your emotions when they arise, and do not resist them, especially the painful ones. Emotions are the language of the soul and must be felt fully to get the deeper essence of your true nature, which is why we are all here in the first place. Resisting any type of painful emotions will lead to suffering in the long run. Share the burden. Share the burden. If you are facing a difficult or even a challenge, it can often be very cathartic, right? Or it could be very chaotic to you to share your struggles with somebody else that you love and trust. They don't have to fix you, or they don't have to give you advice, but they must be a listening presence and hold a space for you to bear your soul and make sense of what you're experiencing. Tap into your soul, family. Number 3, journal regularly. Journaling, putting pen to paper, is a powerful tool, which you should try to do on a regular basis. It allows you to get all of your thoughts and your emotions down on paper, which can help you get them out of your head and your heart, and allows you to create some space around them. This can help you process and understand why you think and feel what you do. And it allows you to transmute that energy and learning how to integrate that into your deeper essence or your soul. Ask yourself powerful questions. Don't shy away. The quality of your life is directly proportional to the quality of the questions that you're going to ask. Break it down. You should regularly ask yourself and journal this on the deep, penetrating questions. Here are a few that you can get you started. Who am I? Like literally ask yourself in this moment, who am I? Why am I here? Why am I here? What am I feeling right now? What am I afraid of? What is the fear factor? What am I grateful for? What are the reoccurring and ongoing problems that I have in my life? What are they trying to teach me about myself? What if I were to reframe or look at my problems as opportunities for growth? What irritates me about other people? Do I have these qualities in myself? Where am I going? Listen, I know you feel as though I'm telling you that you need to answer these questions in all one setting. No, you may take one question a day, but the question is, or even what you need to do is to answer it honestly and thoroughly. That's the whole exercise to this thing. It ain't no yes, no, one sentence shit. Nah. You got to get in the weeds, baby. You got to get in the weeds. And I know that this is scary. I know this is scary to engage in shadow work. But I know through personal experience myself that it's a necessary thing to do and realize your truth and what your full potential in this life is and what's going to be beyond. I encourage you to explore the path of shadow work, regardless of where your life may be at this moment. If you are looking to heal and transform your life situation. Ashe, Ashe.
Need to do shadow work, but how?
Hey boo, I got you. So first things first, when you want to do shadow work, you want to make sure that you are in a safe space. And make sure you don't do this when you're having a bad day. You'll know when the time is right. After you woo-side out, cleanse your space, center yourself, then what you want to do is write a list of all of your triggers. And as you write down those triggers, you're going to be flooded with emotion. Then take a step back, process those emotions, and then write down how you feel. And I promise you, while you do this, memories that have been stuck in the back of your head will be pushed forward. And a lot of those things will come to light. And that unawareness is our shadow, and we're bringing it towards the light. And rather than being afraid and judging our shadow, we want to provide our shadow with compassion. Because all the shadow is your younger self. It's the part of you that didn't get that care that it needed. Then write down those things that you want in life. Becoming aware of your shadow, bring forth positive change.
Save me from all the pain and all the strain that I feel, all the tears that I cried, all the times I wanted just to say goodbye. I held on to the bed, I held on to the bed. Walked a million miles, I didn't think I could stand. Didn't really know that anyone would understand or hold my hand. Take me to where I know I can find my peace and my sanctuary. Save me, take me away, take me away. My stress and strain, all my tears and pain, all my tears and pain. Save me, save me, save me. I don't know what tomorrow holds, but I'm standing in my purpose and I'm making it clear. I know some days I'm rougher than others, but I can weather the storm. And I know this is wrong, but I can stand so strong. So save me, save me, take me away, take me away.
As you sit in this place of wondering where to start when it comes to your shadow healing, it's your triggers, baby. May I offer a little message from the divine as well as the whole spiritual council. I know that in some cases, some of you are dealing with a relationship, or it has something to do around a relationship. Even more precise in that, it could be somebody who you may consider your twin flame. That it is somebody that mirrors who you are. You are alike. You're very similar. You have shared feelings and reflection. But what's going on here? What is the thoughts that you are thinking? Or the person that you're with, what are the thoughts that they're thinking? Because if you are similar, you already know that you're feeling an emotion. You've been thinking. Something has either pulled you away from each other. And you're thinking about how much you miss them or vice versa. I need to ask you a question. Is this missing, this craving, this desiring to have the old back because it's something that you're used to? And you're afraid to see what's going on outside of this situation. Let me dig a little deeper. Is this something that you know that you need to let go? Is it something that you know that you need to move on from? Is it something that you know you need to walk away from? This is not where you need to be. I know that the stars have aligned and you thought that you may have found your person or vice versa. But for whatever reason, it was not meant to be the way that you all fantasized it to be. In the beginning, it was a reality, and then it became a, I don't know, and then it became a fantasy saying we wish we can get back here. But lives, and shit happens. And in order for either one of y'all to move forward, you gotta let it go. I already know that they want to come back. There's some type of reconciliation that wants to be done, making amends to you or you making amends to them. No. This is something that was triggered. Something triggered inside of you about this relationship. It's just something similar to what you had before. Do you keep choosing the same type of people even though you feel as though it's a twin flame? Is it really a twin flame? Is it really? Or it's just something that is a cycle of you choosing the same type of people? How can you grow? It's triggering you. You need to get to the root cause of the reason of why it's triggering you. Ask yourself those why questions and go all the way back to the reason of why you're being triggered by this particular relationship. I personally feel it's a cycle. I'm getting the feeling it's a cycle when it comes to you. Take what resonates with you and leave the rest. I believe that this is a cycle. You need to find out why you keep repeating the same cycle when it comes to relationships. Why? What's triggering you? What is the red flags that are coming up for you? Ask yourself the why questions and keep going backwards. When did the trigger start? You can literally step back into time in your mind and go backwards and find out where the root cause of this is and how can you heal it. Ashe, Ashe. Could it be a sense of loss? Something that was lost. The divine and the spiritual counsel has weighed in and said, it's sorrow, baby. It's sorrow. It's something that you have suffered a loss. There's some grief that you have not dealt with, and it has given you depression. The first thing that comes up about that is your cloudy judgment. A cloudy judgment. There is an illusion that is around this sorrow. You feel unbalanced and it's distorted. What's the trigger? The trigger is sorrow. Is it to return to things that you felt was better? Even though you suffered through it, you still want a second chance to fix it. Second chance to fix it. An opportunity to make amends. Maybe it's something. But if the person is no longer here, how can you honor yourself? It's a bluff. You're wearing a mask and pretending that everything is okay. But it's not. You have to recognize the sorrow that you're going through and what was the trigger to have you to have cloudy judgment, trying to return to make amends, and pretending not being your authentic self. When you know deep down inside of you that a trigger has been pulled. The reason of why you're acting or acting out when things like this happen. Listen, I know what I did when I lost people, whether if they transition or if they just left. And people leave for different reasons. But then you start turning it inward like it's your fault. Baby, it's not. Go find out where you go and go back and figure out what was the root cause of the reason why you feel that everybody leaves you and that you want a second chance. The divine will remove things from you that no longer serve you. But that has nothing to do with people who transition. Or it may. Depends upon your situation and your circumstances. But you have to figure out how you can combat this sorrow and end it with joy. But in order for you to do that, you need to go back and do some type of shadow healing, Ashe. Ashe. I want to play that clip for you one more time, because in there it has some really great questions. And you can play this back as often as you would like, but it has some really great questions in it for you to answer, to dig deep within you to find out why you're being triggered. Beloved, you have to, may I offer that you embrace the shadow. Embrace it. Sometimes you just have to go back and show love to the dark parts of you. You have to show love. You have to show compassion. Mm. Whew. Thank you, beloved. Thank you. I'm going to give you one more message from the divine when it comes to this embracing your shadow. The energy is conflict. Conflict. You feel conflicted. There's a clashing. There is differences. There is incompatibility. There was something that was between you and another person, somebody that you felt that should have been nourishing you, somebody to help you with your growth, somebody to help you with your focus, somebody to help you with finding things. But you didn't get that. You didn't learn how to help yourself with self-growth. You didn't learn how to know the differences between being self-focused. You did not learn about soul finding. You didn't learn how to nurture yourself. You didn't learn that. Definitely was a mother figure involved in this, somebody that was considered a divine feminine. So I know that this was a mother figure or somebody that stepped into that feminine energy role, that did not give you what you needed, There was always a constant conflict between you and this other person, and you didn't understand why. And you felt that whatever goes on with them, I will never treat my kids or anybody that I love the way that I was being raised up to be. If they get their karma back, that's what they get. They deserve all the consequences that happen in their life. They deserve everything because everything is cause and effect. They need to keep that soul debt in what they did to me. How is this triggering you now? What do you see that this other person did to you that you see in other people? And why does it trigger you? You need to get deep down back into the weeds of what this other person did. And I hate to even say the word, but forgiveness is for you and not for them. Forgive them, for they do not know what they have done or what they do. It's for you to move on. Answer those questions and hug that inner child or that young adult that had to go through that, and let them know where you are today. Let them know how much love and how you have grown to be a better person, that you understood the assignment. And it's not a why wasn't me situation, but why not you? So you know how you can teach the next generation of what not to do. I'm going to leave that right there this morning. I gave you some really good tools and how to get yourself restarted back on a journey. Remember, shadow healing is something that happens for the rest of your life. There's going to be things that you may have forgotten about, but for whatever reason it resurfaced. And instead of pushing it back on that dusty shelf with the cobwebs, you need to take it down and brush off that dirt and blow it off and deal with it, no matter how painful it is. You cannot help the next until you make yourself whole. I want to thank you for stopping by Blended Healing on today. I hope the messages from the divine that you take what resonates with you and leave the rest. I want to thank Source for everything that is done under the sun for the benefit of each and every one of us. May the divine direct your path. May your intuition whisper into your spirit, into your soul. May you stay on your journey of self-discovery and your communion with the divine, your own soul counsel, your own spiritual counsel. And may the light always shine upon you and take the things that were in the dark and bring them to light. I will see you very, very soon. Be well, stay safe. Ashe and deep bow.
What more do I need to prove? When will my seeds finally bear fruit? Ancestors into this space, help me to dry my tears running down my face. Is this all just a phase? Will my victory have the sweetest Tell me, is this all a test? I know that you stand with me and you know what's best. But I swear it's getting hard, and all I can do is look to the stars. Guide my steps and stand with me. Someday you will help me to break free. This has been a storm. Hell has no fury like a woman's scorn. Ancestors enter the flame. I can feel you cleansing me in summer rain. I can feel the liberation. This is my emancipation. Ancestors enter the room. Ancestors enter the